Hello, everybody. I'm Dwania, and welcome to our channel. This is our Ask the Expert segment, the funding edition, and is brought to you by Pocketed. Who's Pocketed? Pocketed is a grant funding platform that helps businesses access the billions of dollars available each year in government funding and tax credits using their intelligent matching system. Sign up at the link in our description for your access to grants. Our expert today is Jamie Proctor Boyce. But before we meet Jamie, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on videos like these. Also, remember to submit your funding questions at the link in the description. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So tell everyone a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Pocketed. And if you missed our first video, you need to make sure you go back and watch that because we answered some really good questions there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Jamie. I'm Director of Growth at Pocketed. And Pocketed, our goal is to help more companies get more free money in the bank. Every year in Canada, there is $6 billion, $5.9 billion available in tax credits and grants through the government for small businesses, startups, side hustles, a range of businesses. But the money is there, right? The government does want to support your growth. And the growth of our economy. And so there's an amazing amount of programs. That being said, they are not that easy to access. And so I actually come to Pocketed really with a range of experiences. I've been an entrepreneur who's tried to pursue grants. I've worked for a funding organization building grant programs. And so I'm super, super happy to be building this product that I think is really needed. There are over 1,000 programs in Canada, and they're in 1,000 different websites with 1,000 different deadlines and 1,000 different true eligibility, right? It's sometimes you read about a program and you think you might be qualified, but you really actually have to dig quite deep to make sure that it's a fit. And so Pocketed is building solutions with our software to help make that all way easier. All the information is in one place. Your grant list is accessible to you free of charge. You create a free user account, and based on your business profile, the platform will winnow down those 1,000 programs into a list that's customized for your business. We're building automation tools and intelligence tools that will help you organize your grant applications and submit them more successfully. And we also have an amazing marketplace of vendors if you ever actually want to hire a grant writer or a tax consultant for a tax credit claim. So really end to end, we help you do the discovery about the grants. We help you submit the grants more successfully, and we get you the support if and when you need it to submit those applications.
Fantastic. So now that everyone knows a little bit about Pocketed, let's talk a little bit about funding options. So what is non-dilutive funding and how is it different from other business funding options?
Absolutely. So non-dilutive means that these funding sources, the programs that are in the Pocketed platform rather, are not going to dilute your stake in the business. It's not like venture capital or angel investment where you get money, but then you have to give away some stake in your business, some ownership value in your business. They're not loans. They don't have to be repaid. There's no interest being accrued on these grants. They are essentially free money. Yes, you do have to do some work to apply and do the project and report on the project, but it's money that doesn't dilute the value of your business, the value that you own of your business. And it's a great way, even for those companies that are working with investment, whether it's friends and family or venture capital. Investors like to see smart business people, and non-dilutive funding is an awesome way to extend your runway, to make sure that you have more money in the bank to make the impact that you're trying to make. At Pocketed, we've raised $750,000 for our own business through finding grants and tax credits. And it was through both the success and the headache of getting that money that this product was born. It's too complicated to find this money, but we believe strongly that we're making it easier, and we're going to keep making it easier for business people to find these programs and benefit from them.
Fantastic. Making it easier kind of helps with the next question. How difficult is it to find grants for sole proprietorship or for-profit businesses?
Yeah. So again, what the way Pocketed works is that when you sign up, again, it's a free to create an account and you share a bit of business data, where you're incorporated, or rather, if you're incorporated, and in which province you're doing business, what industry you're involved in, what your revenue is. Some totally fine if you're pre-revenue. And we use all of these different data points to then let you know in your customized grant list which programs you might be eligible for. So I would say it's quite easy through Pocketed's intelligent matching algorithm to figure out which programs you are eligible for. That being said, for example, when you're not incorporated, there are totally programs for you in the database, maybe 24. When you become incorporated, that's going to flip a switch that suddenly deems you eligible for probably 3 or 4 or 5 more dozen programs, right? It takes you from like 17 programs in the platform to maybe over 100 based on your business. So things like incorporation status, whether or not you have people on payroll, what province you're operating in, whether or not you have revenue, those are triggers that will increase the number of programs you're eligible for. But even if you're just somebody off the side of your desk doing a side hustle, you're not incorporated yet, it's just you, there is likely a program that would work for your business.
Oh, nice. And is this taxable?
It is. So grant money would be considered income or a reduction of expenses. So I'm not an accountant, and we're always really transparent about that here at Pocketed. We do encourage you to talk to the experts. So you would want to speak with your bookkeeper or your accountant about what the effect of grants on your books. But it is generally taxable. But typically, I would say the value of the grant hopefully is going to outweigh the tax burden of taking that grant.
Yeah, and that's a great question to submit, everyone, in the link in the description for our financial segment. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and partners, I would just jump in and say partners are really important. Dwayne is working with some amazing partners, some of whom are also partners of Pocketed, for things like legal support, accounting support. And so, we know a lot about grants, and we also know a lot about the supports needed for grants, but it doesn't mean that that's my personal area of expertise, as I'm getting to pretend to be an expert here. So it's definitely, that it's important to speak to the experts, but definitely also really helpful to have one place where you can start your journey. You can start learning about grants, because some of them are going to be really straightforward and you might be able to do just on your own.
Right. And then how do we determine which grants are best for us and our organizations?
Well, that's the power of technology, right? So again, we've built this intelligent matching platform that takes a lot of the heavy lifting off of your plate. By sharing this business data, we can matrix that, and that will let you know which programs that you likely are eligible for. Now, I mean, I do think you might get your list and you'll be really excited. It is important to dig in and to be reading each of the entries on your grant list and making sure, just because you're eligible for a program doesn't mean it's actually relevant to what you're doing in that exact moment for your business, right? It might not be the time to hire someone or to engage in a training program, and that's what the money is earmarked for. So we can talk more about that, but I would say there's more money out there likely than most business person has time to pursue. So we definitely help you winnow down that list, but then we do also help you try to get closer to the top programs that are actually a best fit for your business.
Nice. So our last question is, we find the grants, we know we're eligible, we apply for the grants, and then we sit and wait. How long does it take to secure a grant?
Yeah, so that's it's a real range. And so maybe it's helpful to share, in the Pocketed platform, there's essentially 5 main categories of grants. There are hiring grants, training grants, research and development grants, market expansion grants, and COVID relief grants. And so each of those is there are hundreds of programs within each category. There's probably more similarity within the categories to each of the programs, but each is totally different. So sometimes a grant can literally be just, filling out a couple of forms, and maybe you find out within a week or two whether or not you've gotten, say, a small stimulus to hire an underrepresented youth as an employee in your business. Other programs that can give you $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 are going to take even more time. So if you're pursuing a digital supercluster grant that is going to give you potentially millions of dollars to build your technology with a host of different partners, that's likely going to take months to prepare and months to get a decision on. If you're looking to just add some marketing capacity to your team, and you want to use either a $7,000 student wage subsidy or maybe a $25,000 new grad subsidy, again, those might be a series of forms, and it might just be a couple of weeks before you get a decision.
Okay, so it varies. So everyone pack your patience for some things, and others you might get a really quick response. Wow. Thank you, Jamie. So this is our second video that we're doing for the Ask the Expert, the funding edition. Remember to submit your funding questions in the comments or in the link in the description. If you have questions about financial or accounting or legal, you can submit those as well, because we have other partners, as Jamie mentioned, that will be coming on and answering your questions. Also, support the channel. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts on this segment. A special thank you again to our segment sponsor, Pocketed. Click the link in the description to learn more. And you also can sign up for their free access to the platform. So click that link in the description. And thank you again, Jamie.